Hey guys, this is part 3 of the OnShape barbecue tutorial. You should have already completed part 1 where we drew all the parts, part 2 where we assembled all the parts, and this is part 3 where we're going to make a set of plans from our drawings. So you should already have this on here, assembled in its proper position. What we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the plus icon in the bottom left hand side and come up here and hit create drawing. Now we have this list come up here. Now because I've used this before, my options are here. However, you guys are going to need to go to iOS for International Standard Orientation. And we want to make an A3 drawing. So make sure that's selected and then come down here and hit OK. It'll take a moment or two for it to load the drawing in. Once that's happened, we need to come over here to this spanner icon. From here, we go up here to where it says views, and then go from first angle to third angle. Now in Australia, we use International Standard Orientation, but we use third angle projection. So that's a little bit of Europe and a little bit of American standards. So we'll just close that menu again, and now we have our blank plan here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the Insert View button. Click on that and then click on Insert. Now you can see here we have some options for us. Now these things here is for the part studios. So we can have our individual parts on there. But what we want to do is come to assemblies. And we're going to pick the assembly where we made our barbecue. So that's assembly 1 for me. So it automatically chooses a side for us and sets the scale. So I think this is a bit small, so I'm going to set my scale to 1 to 4. So because this is the face, I'm clicking it down in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen. Once I click that, it automatically gives me the next projected view. So I'm going to drag up and click again, and that's going to give me my top view. I'm going to come down here again, click on my original drawing, come out to the right, and that's going to give me my end view. So now I have my orthogonal views. Once again, I'm going to click on this one, the original drawing, and drag out on an angle and click that one there. And that one's going to give me my isometric view. So this is our basic plan view of our project. It doesn't give us too many details of how to actually make it, but it's more just a description of what you're making. So we're going to come over here and grab the dimension tool and just give it some basic dimensions. So I'm going to go and pull from here to here and pull that down there like this. And put another one in there like that. These just give us our overall sizes to give whoever is making this an overall overview of what we're making. So I'm going to let go of that tool again by clicking the icon. I'm going to come down here to title. I'm going to double click. I'm going to type in barbecue. Tick. I'm going to put my school name in. I'm going to turn to the next one, and I'm going to put my name in. Everything you write in here should be in capitals. Once we've got those in there, we've got the basics of our sheet here. We can go down, or you can click on this little Sheets button, and then we go up here to Insert Sheet, and that's going to give us a clean new page. Now we're going to go over here to Insert Views, and we're going to want to put in our plate, and we want a top view of our plate. And we're going to change the scale to 1 to 3. I'll pop that in the top left-hand corner. Now I'm going to go back to views and insert the grill. Once again, using the top. And I'm going to put that there and try and get it somewhat in line with my plate here. I'm going to insert the guard. Top view. And I'm going to insert the rail. We'll keep the front view for this one. And then finally, we're going to add in our leg. And we're also going to keep the front view for that one. So now we have all our parts, our individual parts in here. And we can just go here to the dimension tool and dimension these out. When you're using the dimension tool, make sure that the numbers go in the center of the line. We also want to dimension these holes. And we'll go around and dimension this as well. Okay, so that's all our stuff dimensioned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to let go of my dimension tool, and I'm just going to edit these numbers here. Now, because of the way we made this, our numbers are going to be a little bit off because we follow the center line for our circle rather than an edge, which means that the measurements are slightly off. But we can just edit those. So if I double click on that, I can just change that to what it's supposed to be, which is 20. I'm going to come here and change that, 200. This one here, 110. And this one here, 100. I've just changed those dimensions there. It adds a little line underneath it to indicate that it has been changed, but that doesn't really worry us. What we need to add now is a bill of materials. So what you do is you come over here to this symbol here. It'll say BOM table. And we're just going to click top right hand corner there, and it's going to automatically generate our list. So previously in the Part Studio, we named all our parts and gave them a description of what they were, and they'll all show up here. That way we can see how many parts we're going to need. And then we're going to come down here. We're just going to name this. We double click here, remove that, and we're just going to call this BBQ parts. Hit the green tick. So what we need to do now is we need to come over here to this call out button. We're going to click on this, and we're going to click on our part and put the little bubble out there. See how it's got a 2 in it? That associates itself with this item number over here in our BOM table. So we're just going to label each part with our little bubble coming out nice and neatly so it's not covering up any of our measurements or anything like that. And that's that part done. We should have 2 pages. One page has got all our parts on it, labeled with a call out button thing, and having our measurements put in there. We've edited these measurements here to make sure they're all the right size, and had it laid out in a logical way. On sheet 1, we have an overview of our project with some basic overall measurements. To actually submit this, what we need to do is come over here to this hamburger symbol, go there, and then come down here to print. Once you push that, it will save it as a PDF. You download that PDF, and then you upload that PDF to Teams.